Hello and welcome to another edition of This Is Crazy Talk. Now, as you can see, my hair is really different to how it normally is. It's kind of this weird blonde ginger mix at the moment. I'm calling it blinger. Now, this is a topic I've wanted to cover on my channel for a little while. I did attempt to do it last week and technology and I had a bit of a falling out, so I'm going to try again. So before this video goes any further, I would just like to say that I don't promote suicide, I don't think it's a good thing that people should be doing, etc, so on and so forth. Just wanted to get that out of the way. The topic under discussion today is suicide by train. Now those of you that know me in person will know that I used to work in London and I used to get the train into London each day I went to work. And unfortunately there have been times where I've been delayed and had to get another train and wait for quite a while because there has been a suicide on the line. Now the general ignorance of everybody around me in these kind of situations never ever ceases to astound me. Now I'll level with you. If you're on public transport and something gets delayed, that's annoying. You are making a journey and that journey has now just been made more difficult. You might miss a connection, you might be missing anything. However, somebody's life has just ended. This isn't just some stupid train delay because there was a signal failure. Somebody's life has just ended. Someone has killed themselves. And these people are being incredibly insensitive about the whole matter. I mean, obviously you get these people sighing and huffing and looking altogether not too pleased with the situation. And again, yes, it's annoying that the train has been delayed. However, stop being such a dick. I can remember several times. I remember being delayed on a train going into London, and there had been a suicide on the line, I think 1 or 2 trains ahead, so we couldn't go anywhere. And, I mean, my attitude is always the same in these situations, which is, it's very sad, it's pretty annoying, yes, that the train isn't moving, but there's nothing I can do about it, so I'm not going to get angry. I'm just going to sit here and wait. Because that's all I can do. And I remember my mum actually called me up, just by chance, whilst I was on the train waiting. And I can remember feeling everybody's eyes on me because I was so calm in the situation and so, I don't know, just not annoyed by it. And that seemed to be a strange thing to be doing or saying. I remember saying to my mum on the phone, I said, yeah, I'm on the train, but it's delayed because there's been a fatality on the line. Can't remember what my mum said in response, but I was like, I know, it can't be helped, I'm just going to sit here and wait it out. And people were looking at me like I had about 3 heads or something because I wasn't huffing and puffing that someone had killed themselves by train. And that's not right, that shouldn't happen. Now, I would like to tell you, regardless of where you are going, whether it's a meeting, whether you're just going to work for a normal day, if you're going to visit a friend for lunch, if you're going home, you're going to see your boyfriend or girlfriend, regardless of where you're going, if you're on a train or any other kind of public transport, but mainly this is trains, so we'll stick to trains. If you're on some kind of public transport and somebody has killed themselves on the line, which makes you delayed, there are tons more people out there who are more important than you in that moment. You might get late, but I would like you to consider this for one moment. First of all, I want you to consider the victim. You do not know them, and you do not know their life story. But what you do know is that things have got so bad for them that they have resorted to killing themselves in such a horrible way. I mean, you imagine, I'm sure you've all been at a level crossing, and you see the trains go past, even if they're not going up full speed. That's a pretty hefty thing to get hit by. It's a fucking train. If that person's not killed outright, can you imagine the amount of pain that person has gone through? And then the emotional pain, the psychological trauma that has brought them to that point. Then, of course, there is the family and the friends of the victim. They have just lost a father, a mother, a daughter, a son, a brother, a sister, the list goes on. Someone could have lost their best friend. Then, of course, you can't forget the driver of the train. That person is driving this train, and it has just hit a person. It's hit a human being, and that human being has just been killed. You can't imagine how that person is feeling. It's not like a car. You can't swerve to avoid someone. It's a train on a track. That poor train driver is going to have to go into counselling or therapy. They may have to take weeks off because of the trauma that has been caused by this. Again, more important than your journey. And then, of course, there are the witnesses. Now, I have never seen a human being die. Likelihood is you've never seen a human being die. I don't know, it's not a very common thing. However, these people have just seen somebody jump in front of a train and get killed. That is horrific. And those people are going to have that burned into their memory for the rest of their fucking lives. Whether you're just sat on a platform waiting, or you're just in the train station having a coffee, or if you're on another train that's been delayed on the line, you're still lucky enough to have not seen that. And you should be thankful that you are not any of those people that I have just mentioned. So please, if you're unfortunate enough to be in such a situation where you've had a train delayed because someone has committed suicide, please think of all those other people before you get pissed off about your journey being ruined. And of course, people like to weigh in their own opinions, as I'm doing now, I understand. Jeremy Clarkson did what he does best, which is be insensitive and cause a reaction. And I suppose by mentioning this, this is exactly what he wants. However, he decided to voice his opinion and say that people who commit suicide by train jumping are selfish people with no consideration for other people, disrupting the networks, etc., etc. And I kind of think he's missing the point. I've already mentioned suicide is a horrible, horrible act. To be able to put yourself in front of a train to kill yourself is horrific. It's a horrific way to die. I mean, there are countless ways that people can kill themselves. And that, to me, has got to be one of the worst. So to get to that place, that's pretty fucking dark. Now, if that person has been trying to get help, and the entire world that they live in, not a single person has helped them, not a single person has held their hand out in friendship or offered to help them, do you really think that in their final moments they're going to be concerned about somebody's train journey? Of course they're not. It's kind of stupid, really, when you think about it. Now I'm going to tell you something that somebody told me. I'm not going to mention any names. I'm not even going to mention any genders. This person gets the train a lot, and they once told me that they had a very similar view to people who commit suicide by train as the general masses, that it's selfish, that it's stupid, blah blah blah. Now, such a thing did happen to this person. They got delayed on a train where someone had been hit, and they did the thing that most other people do, which is huff and puff and complain and get generally quite annoyed at the fact that this person has killed themselves and disrupted their journey. Now this person went into college the next day, and a lot of people were very upset, crying, they were in bits. And when this person found out what happened, one of the most lovely, friendly people who was in that college, who knew a lot of people, was very popular and happy, and seemingly happy, they were the ones that had killed themselves. And now, the person who told me that story has a very different view on the kinds of people who do kill themselves by train. And the reactions to it. Now, what could be worse than being incredibly insensitive to someone who has just committed suicide? I hear you ask. And that would be encouraging someone who is on the brink of suicide. And I don't want to go into too much detail, but I have heard of people where someone is on a bridge or someone is basically threatening suicide. They are on the bridge just above the track and they are this close to jumping. And of course, the trains can't go through, so they stop it, and people are left on the platform fairly annoyed. Now, if what I mentioned before was insensitive, this is downright cruel and evil. People have been known to encourage these people to jump, encourage these people to end their fucking lives just so that they can get on this train. How messed up do you have to be? That's another person's life. And you're more concerned about getting the train. Yeah, it sucks being stuck on a platform, but it also sucks being at that point where you want to fucking kill yourself. Just, these people have no sense of priority and are so self-centered in their own little bubble that they don't give two shits about someone who wants to die. It blows my mind that people can be this ridiculous. It really does. Now, that's my rant over for today. This is something that has been on my mind for quite a while, so I'm quite glad that I got this video done. Please like and subscribe, please share this channel around. As I've mentioned in all my other videos, mental health is something that needs to be talked about. And the more that we talk about it, the less we'll have a stigma. So, without further ado, this is Crazy Talk. Have a lovely day.